Welcome, I'm Rabbi Phil Bressler of Beit Am in Corvallis, Oregon, and this is the daily summary video for the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Yomi Daily Halakha Learning Project, covering the passage from Sivan 95, Seif 12 to Sivan 95, Seif 18. You can find links to the Hebrew and English text of this passage and to the calendar of upcoming passages in this video's description. Still talking about Iruvei Tichumim. If you're thinking about towns in this discussion on a modern scale, you're almost certainly needing to think smaller. So 2,000 amot, the radius from where you start in the center of your circle on Shabbat, only comes out to about a kilometer, or about 6/10 of a mile. You can cover that distance in about 1,200 steps. It'd probably take you about 7 or 8 minutes of walking at a regular pace in one direction to get that far. So it's just not that far. If there's a town within your Tehum that's equipped with either walls or an eruv when you get there, that whole area counts as just 4 amot with regard to your coverage of distance. So the Kitzur's example is if it's 500 amot for you to get to the town, and the town covers 1,000 more amot, but which only counts as 4, then you can go 1,496 amot through and past that town before hitting the limit of your Tehum. So it's actually effectively close to about 3,000 amot that you can travel in that direction in terms of real distance. But the distance that counts is, the town only counts for 4. Now, this only works if the town is entirely within your Tehum. So in order for the situation to actually arise, it would have to be a very small town, like really only a quarter mile or so across. In light of this rule, actually, I realized I misspoke a little bit yesterday. I said that if you live just outside a town, let's say you live 3,000 amot outside of your town, I said that you could set up an eruv techumim between your home and the town, enabling you to have access to the city. But actually, this only works if the whole town is within the techum established by your eruv. So say you live 3,000 amot outside of town, and the town is, say, 5,000 amot across. Like, it's fairly large by the Kitzur standards here. You can't reach the town at all without an eruv because it's 3,000 away and you can only go 2,000. So say you set up an eruv that's at the edge of your boundary, 2,000 amot, and so 1,000 more amot away from the edge of town. That only actually buys you access to the first 1,000 amot inside your town. You can get all the way from your dwelling inside the walls of the city, but only 1,000 amot in. And that's because the whole thing isn't fully within your eruv. So I think the ideas we're talking about here are really pertain to an earlier era of dwelling that's, I don't know, it doesn't seem very active these days. The only towns that are that small are already way out in the country and not necessarily adjacent to other towns. So obviously eruv techumim is something of a legal fiction. It stretches the idea of dwelling in a way that's divorced from actual reality. So it's not the kind of thing that one should do just willy-nilly. Good reasons to make an eruv techumim and stretch your Shabbat boundary include to go and perform a mitzvah, to pray with a minyan, to meet your rabbi, to meet your friend who's arrived from a long journey, to attend a seudat mitzvah, that's a banquet in honor of a mitzvah, so like after a wedding or brit milah, to take care of affairs affecting the whole community, that's considered actually a specific mitzvah. Or if you're returning from a journey, you're almost home when Shabbat starts, and you just want to make it all the way there on Shabbat. Actually, as a footnote, Rabbi Moshe Isserles, known as the Ramah, who wrote a gloss on Karo's Shulchan Aruch, apparently Isserles permits making an eruv even just to stroll through a park and enjoy your Shabbat or your Yom Tov. So eruv techumim has to be up before Shabbat or Yom Tov starts. I think we've mentioned that already. So if Yom Tov is Thursday night and Friday leading into Shabbat, you got to put it up on Thursday. Or if Yom Tov follows Shabbat, you start Saturday night and into Sunday, actually as it'll be this week for Shavuot in 5782. You got to put that eruv up on Friday. So your property and your livestock are subject to the same boundaries that you are. You can't give them to someone else to move them for you. So, but if you loan or you rent them through to someone else before Shabbat, they're subject to the borrower or the renter's boundary instead, not yours. Non-Jews aren't subject to the boundary, but their stuff is. which could be an issue if a non-Jewish friend is bringing you presents on Shabbat. And finally, there's a corner case where if you board a ship on Erev Shabbat, which I think you're pretty explicitly not supposed to do, but say you do, you're not tethered to the boat by Shvita with regard to your Tehum Shabbat. If the boat, though, comes into port on Shabbat, as soon as you step ashore, that's Shvita. And you can only go 2,000 amot in any direction from that point. If you get back on the boat, then after that, and it sails off, you're stuck within a 4 amot radius until the end of Shabbat on that boat. Seems like a real corner case, not the thing that's very likely to happen, but helpful for understanding nonetheless. That's all for today. As always, our learning is dedicated to Rabbi Shlomo Gansrid, the author of the Kitzur, and the historic Jewish community of Uzhhorod, Ukraine. See you tomorrow.